Okay, all right. Welcome everyone to Emotional Balance. It is so needed, ever more, increasingly, ever more, as as years go on, especially in the state our world is. So we're trying to find balance. It's really important. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world, we always need to make sure that we're not only taking care of our physical health, but also keeping an eye on and getting the right amount of emotional support. With emotional support, it's all about balance. Balance in our minds, balance in what we feel, balance in what we put into our bodies, and anything and everything in between. Finding the balance can help us live a more complete, emotionally and physically whole lifestyle. We're going to talk about a lot of different ways we can keep an eye on our emotional health and support it with Young Living oils and supplements and some other practical tips. What I love about essential oils is that they are natural helpers that assist us in our body to help repair it and restore it. So we're going to take a look. Did you know that some of the more prominent studies of essential oils have to do with how they affect us emotionally? Feelings of anxiousness for kids at the dentist have been lessened by merely diffusing the essential oils. And I have a story I'm going to share about my son who had his wisdom teeth taken out. We all four of us in my family have had our wisdom teeth taken out, and they've been impacted. And we all have just gone the route of not being put to sleep or, twilight or whatever. We've all gone the route of just getting the shot injection, the Novocaine. And he was the only one that was able to get the experience of me putting in a diffuser in the room while he's going through this surgery with essential oils. And I diffused lavender. And so lavender, and then also I put on some peace and calming. And it's amazing. It just totally, he was really anxious in going through it, and it just calmed him down. So, and then after that, I went ahead with the process of the healing in the gums. I went and supported him with actual application on his gums in having the process of the healing process, and helping it a little quicker. So that was our experience. So this is part of why we diffuse, to help break down and disperse the oils in the air for people to breathe them in. And we breathe the oils in. This is the process. They interact with our olfactory system. It disperses into our brains and our bodies, and we get support in different ways this way than using them internally or topically. However, all three methods help give us the emotional support we are looking for, especially during these trying times or painful times, I would say. It's all about the balance. Finding balance is not only what the oils that we use for going to be the key in feeling, emotionally balanced and secure, but also, just grounding us. So we keep those diffusers going. We keep the carrier oil and the roller bottles nearby. We make sure we've got our supplements and vitality oils on hand so we can stay balanced. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the oils and then also the Young Living products that are going to support us in all of this. Now I'm going to turn it over to Caroline, and she's going to talk about 3 different oils that can help support you.
Okay, so first, I just want to let everybody know I am so excited to be here doing this because using oils for emotional support is like my favorite way of using the oils. For me, I have found the, the oils have supported my life and helped me in so many different ways. But in the emotional aspect, it's just like way up here. That's where I have seen the biggest or the most drastic difference or improvement or benefit from using the oils. So anytime I get to talk about emotional, like using the oils for emotional support, I'm like, yay, I just love it. So before I go into the specific oils that I want to talk about, I do want to just say that tonight we're going over specific oils. A lot of them, maybe all of them, are blends that Gary Young he basically designed these specifically for a particular emotional benefit. However, there are lots of different oils, singles as well as other blends, that do help support emotions as well. They might, like, all the citrus oils are uplifting. For me, I can breathe in just about any tree oil and it immediately calms me down. It's just like grounding, soothing to me. And there's one blend called Believe, and all it takes is one whiff for me and I'm just like, oh, okay, it grounds me like nothing else. And it's a blend mostly of tree oils. I think there might be some lang lang in there as well. I don't remember for sure. So anyway, just know that if you don't have the blends that we're talking about, go to what you do have. Allow your intuition to lead you to whatever oil is jumping out, because your body knows, and it's going to send you messages through your intuition that this particular oil, because of its frequency, because of its actual, compounds in it, it's what your body is needing and craving at that point in time. So with that said, I want to go into the first 3 oils for emotional support that we're going to talk about are forgiveness, harmony, and hope. And they pretty much are specifically designed to do just what their name says. So forgiveness is a blend, and it is to support you in forgiving, and not just forgiving others, but also forgiving yourself. We are definitely hardest on ourselves, and we can just get into that negative self-talk, and it can just, play on repeat day in and day out. And that's just so detrimental to every aspect of our life, emotionally, but also, with our family, with our career. It can hold us back and that type of thing. So forgiveness really helps support you getting to the point where you can forgive, let go, and move on. And then there's harmony. And harmony also, just like the name, it promotes this feeling of togetherness. So it's a fantastic oil to use when you just want to create either more of that, like whether it's in your home or your work area. Maybe there's some tension going on and you just want to try and, take a step towards being more harmonious. So it's a fantastic oil to, stick in the diffuser for that type of thing. And then the third oil is hope. Now, I'm going to spend a little more time on this one because I love this one. And this is actually, Young Living considers this, or maybe Gary was the one who said it, but he considers this an optimism oil. So it is an oil to use if you or your brain are in the gutter, and you're just in that pessimistic, just like, kind of feeling. Um, Also in Young Living, they call Hope Essential Oil a hug in a bottle. And it's excellent to use when you need support to just like move on with your journey. It's blended specifically to give you hope for the future, and or for hope for the future in an emotional, mental, and spiritual aspect. So all three of those ways, and it reconnects you to your inner core and your inner strength. So anytime you feel stuck, if you're looking to, branch off into something new, or if you have this desire but you just can't get there, or maybe you're having a hard time letting go of something because you just don't know what's beyond that, this is a great oil for that. So it's really good for like stressful transitions, negative situations, and when there's emotional distress. And all of these oils are fantastic to be diffused, or you can also apply them topically. And what works really well when you're looking for emotional support with the oils, especially these that are specifically designed for emotional support, is to put them on your ear. You can just put them on both ears and then breathe it in. You definitely want to be breathing it in, whether it's from your hands or from the diffuser, because that is, out of the three applications, that is the one that can like change your emotion like that, because you breathe in the oil. The molecules of the essential oil are so small, they go in your nose, hit the olfactory nerves, go hit the olfactory bulb, goes into the bloodstream, into the brain, it crosses the blood brain barrier, and it affects your limbic system all within a matter of seconds. And the limbic system is where we hold our emotions. And so when you affect the limbic system with the essential oils, then you are going to affect, affect and enact change to your emotions. So definitely want to be breathing in the oils, like I said, whether it's the diffuser or your hands. If you're heading off to work and you want something, you can always put a few drops on a diffuser bracelet or a necklace. Any of those things work fantastic. And I think it's it for that. So, Catherine?
Okay, yeah, yeah. The next one is another wonderful emotional blend called Valor. This one's been around a long time. It was the one of the oils that was in the first kit, like back in what, 94 or 5.
I can't ever get it.
So anyways, it goes way back, and it's a very popular oil blend. It's called Courage in a Bottle sometimes. It's one of the best oils for instilling feelings of confidence, back in your life. You can wear it as a perfume. It's a great oil as a perfume. You can apply it to your temples, to the crown of your head. You can diffuse it. It pairs well with frankincense and orange. There's another aspect of Valor that can easily be overlooked in regards to the emotional support and mental health, and that's its ability to help ease your neck and your back discomfort. It's amazing. It's an oil that's used in the raindrop technique, and it just feels like, you're just balanced. That's been my experience. So I wanted to also do my little disclaimer that I didn't mention in the beginning, that we don't claim to diagnose, treat, or cure you. We're just giving you information and, you know, wanting you to be empowered to go for natural remedies and products and stuff that you can use in your life. And Young Living is definitely the quality brand that you can feel safe and confident that it's going to support you, especially emotionally, like Caroline was saying. It is also, one that it provides comfort to you. It's relaxing. It feels like you can, free up your mind and be able to be, at a very emotionless, full of emotion, and balance with this oil. I want to share an experience with my husband who came home and he was kind of in a mood. And I kind of noticed something was bothering him. And it wasn't, how sometimes you get that feeling that it's not what he's actually, kind of in a mood about. There's something else probably physically or something bothering him. And it was. And it just kind of comes out at one point and he goes, my neck is really hurting me. And I'm like, aha, it was something, I knew it. And so, I whipped out the Valor and I put it on him, and it just really just made him, calm down, and his mood kind of subsided. So that's how quickly these oils work on you, within seconds. So you can also blend this one with the CBD muscle rub. You can also blend it with Panaway. You can put it in a carrier oil. You can, have a nice massage with it. It's just truly a wonderful oil. So I love it. So next would be going into the feelings kit. And this is like a whole kit of emotional blend oils that you can use. It's all in a nice kit that is ready for you to go. And Caroline's going to start talking about the next 3 oils in that kit.
Yeah. So one thing I just wanted to add with Valor, this is just like a little trivia thing, but Valor was Gary Young, the founder of Young Living. Valor was his #1 favorite oil. That was what he considered to be his top favorite. Not sure why. I don't think I actually ever heard what it was about it, but that's his favorite oil. Anyway, so yeah, the feelings kit is it's okay. They call it a kit here, but it's actually like a collection of oils. And it's a collection designed for all the emotions, for the feelings. And if you go into your virtual office, you will find it under the essential oil products, specifically under collections. So that'll help you, if you are in there looking for it. But the feelings kit, what the 3 oils that I talked about first, forgiveness, harmony, and hope, as well as Valor, come in the feelings kit. And then along with these 3, and the next 3 are inner child, present time, and release. And again, if you look at the names of those, you can see, kind of figure out how they, tie into just our emotions. So the inner child is the first one, and the benefits of that are that it helps you connect with your inner child. It also helps, it's used often in aroma freedom technique, which is it's an emotional release type of technique, and they use essential oils for it. But the inner child is used a lot in that to kind of process through some childhood wound that maybe you're carrying around and have been carrying around, and it may be something that's limiting you or creating a certain reaction every time you get into a situation, a particular situation. You react a certain way because of this childhood wound that you're still carrying around. So inner child is excellent to help you work through that and take some of the charge off of that wound, so that it's not affecting you the same way. It also smells amazing. Right, Catherine? Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I just love the smell of that one. Okay, and then present time is the next one. And present time is, the benefits of that are to help you focus on the present and live in the moment. When we meditate, if you've ever done like a guided meditation, they talk a lot about, being present, being right here, not in the past. Don't be fretting about the past and don't be worrying about the future. You want to be right here. And so present time helps you do that, helps you just stay grounded in the moment so that you can enjoy this particular moment without all the other stuff affecting you. And then the third one here would be release. And release is excellent to help you release negative feelings, past hurts, anger. I I will say that that's what I've used it the most for, is when, I've just got some anger going on and I haven't been able to work through it. I will say that and be very transparent that growing up, I was never allowed to express my anger. So as an adult, I have had to learn how to, constructively express anger when I deal with it. The most of the time, though, in my young adult life, I would feel anger and I would just stuff it down because that was what I did as a child. It was the only thing I could do as a child. So that was my, like, I guess my MO whenever it came to anger. So since getting the feelings kit and I learned about release, I was just like, okay, I'm going to use this one. And we hold our anger. Catherine, you can correct me. I'm pretty sure it's in the liver area.
Yes.
And so, okay. So when I use it, I definitely breathe it in, whether it's in the diffuser or in my hands, but I also apply it topically to like right over my liver to just help me release, like move through the feelings of anger and release them so that I can move on. So you can see that like there are multiple angles that we can, work through our different emotions. And that's what the feelings kit is designed to do. It gives you a number of different oils that you just, it comes all in a little box. So you've got all the different oils to focus on different emotions. I guess you could kind of think of that cartoon. I actually just had it pop into my head right now, In and Out, where they have all the different emotions. Does anybody? I'm just seeing a bunch of blank stares, maybe because I have young nieces and nephews. But yeah, it's a cartoon. And the premise is, they have all these different emotions and they're actually like little characters. So there's anger and joy and sadness and whatever. But the feelings kit is kind of like your remedy to all those different things. So it's an excellent kit. I highly recommend it. And all the oils smell amazing.
Yeah, and they're all blends, all the emotional oils, it seems like they're mostly blends. And just explain it, a single oil is like lavender and lavender, lime, or lemon, just single oils. A blend is, sometimes some of these emotional oils or these blends are like 16 different oils in there. Some of them have quite a lot of oils in there. So like that inner child that Caroline mentioned, it has like some orange in there. And orange, do you remember orange is like the happy childhood flavor, those orangecicles. And, just orange is just a very cheerful color and a cheerful flavor. So.
Also, one thing I wanted to mention since you brought up the blends, that because the blends are specifically designed for a benefit. So they are already blended with all these different single oils. And, Gary put these together for a very specific reason. So for that reason, I prefer to diffuse. When I diffuse them, I just diffuse the blend. I won't mix blends, because if you have a blend with, say, 8 oils, and then you have another blend with 12, then you just go and you put them in. Now you've got 20 different oils there. but they might be, the two different blends might be competing with each other. And so the benefits you may not notice them as significantly. Now, there have been times when I wanted to use a couple of the different feelings. And so what I do is I'll put one in the diffuser, and then I might put one on topically, like on the bottom of my feet or behind my ears or whatever. Which, that's okay. But to put them both in the diffuser, I have read that it's, you're better off just using the blend by itself. If you wanted to add, Catherine's going to talk about Joy next. And Joy also has orange in it. And when I put Joy in the diffuser, I like adding a little bit of extra orange, which it's fine to do that. You just don't want to necessarily mix two blends.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on that, Caroline, because that's important. Like if you use a blend, you can add maybe frankincense or orange, or that's why we're talking about just adding a single oil to when you have a blend.
Right.
Yeah, because it's just too much going on. So our
more
next
than that,
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say more than that is that I definitely don't want to lose the intended benefit of that blend.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because he specifically, like you said, Gary put it together with all those oils for a specific purpose in mind,
Right.
and concentrating to support that particular emotion.
Right.
Yeah. So Joy is another blend. It's very yummy. It's got even some rose in there, and it's a very floral, bouquet. And I love putting it over my heart. I'm going to talk about it at the end on Gary Young's Great Day Protocol. It is one of those oils in there, and just you got to experience it. So we can talk about these as much as we can and tell you what's in them, but until you experience the oils, oh my gosh, we both can tell you from experience that it's all in the experience. So stress relief plays a big part in making sure that we're emotionally secure. And most of the time we think of the big picture, the glaring, stress-filled events that make a spectacle of themselves in our lives when it comes to relieving stress. And they definitely need attention, but don't forget about everyday stresses and those little things that always gnaw at you, and it's just under the surface, maybe right at the top. And they do their damage bit by bit. So finding ways to rise above those will help us, when those bigger, more prominent ones show up. So Joy can be worn as a perfume. I love wearing it as a perfume because not only does it smell good, it seems like when I wear it, I have feelings of just I don't have like sadness for some reason. My experience is just like I don't feel sad anymore. It's amazing. So I have something that you can put it with. So you can add 3 drops of orange with 5 drops of Joy. So that's again what we're talking about, the blend with, just adding some orange in there, one single. You can add a couple drops of frankincense to it. You can diffuse it. But one other story I wanted to share with you is Gary Young shared a story that I thought was just beautiful about this older married couple that had been married for like a couple of decades. And her husband never told her that she can remember, I love you, you're beautiful, just all these things that a woman wants to hear. And so Gary recommended that she put Joy in the diffuser, that blend, and turn it off, before he got home, but just kind of have it permeating throughout the house. And sure enough, within about 2 weeks, she did this every day. And he came home one day and came right up to her in the kitchen, and he turned her around and he hugged her and he said, I love you. And she's just like totally blown away, like, what? Wow, Gary's right. These oils sure do work. But what it is that these oils permeate through the house, kind of like the opposite of like smoking. So how you walk into someone's home. I can think of one person in particular where she's from England, and you walk in the home and it just reeks like smoke. Well, the oils have the opposite effect, in my opinion, and it lingers through permeates through the walls and the furniture and the floor, and it just creates this environment that just the oils and these small vapors go everywhere. They're so microscopic, that they go into everything. And before you know it, you have this frequency and this vibration filled in your home, So anyways, I thought it was just a really magical story. So I thought I'd share with that. So now we have Caroline, who's going to talk about the Stress Away roll-on.
Yeah. But before I do that, can I tell you my joy story?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay, sure.
No, that's okay. And I have to share it because, well, one, Joy Essential Oil Blend was I call it my gateway oil. It's like, the gateway drug. It was my gateway oil. And it's also the reason why I get so excited when I go to talk about emotions and oils. Because I had started using, I got my kit, and at the time it came in the kit. And someone had said to me, oh, Joy is a great oil to use just to wear as perfume. And part of the big reason, pretty much the only reason actually, that I got a kit in the first place was because I thought, oh, well, this will be nice. I can, smell nice, and my house can smell nice without giving me a headache. And I may have shared this on a previous call, so if you're hearing it again, I'm sorry. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Joy is amazing. And anyway, so I had heard it's great for perfume and to put it over your heart. So I did that, and I really liked the smell. And so then I diffused it as well. I did this 3 days in a row. And on the third day, I realized, oh my gosh. And it was seriously within a minute or two of putting it on that I noticed this, that all of a sudden I'm walking around my house kind of humming to myself.
Well, she's frozen. So.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, you froze again, Caroline.
Dang it. My Wi-Fi here has just been horrible this past week. All right. Am I still frozen?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, Joy was it just like made a huge, huge difference in my emotions. And, I was wearing it every day. I don't wear it every day now because I have so many other oils that I do like as well. So I mix them up. But for a while there, that was like the only oil that I wore because it was just so drastic. And yes, it turned me into Snow White, skipping through the forest with all my animal friends. Okay, so the next oil that I want to talk about is Stress Away, and it is a blend also. And all of you who have kids, have the Stress Away because it has come in the kit for a long time. And Young Living has it in the 15 milliliter bottle, as well as a roll-on that's already got the roller top on it for you to just take and roll on. And Stress Away does exactly what it says. It is extremely calming, and it just kind of takes away, the stress of whether it's work, your kids, just whatever. If you remember the old Calgon Take Me Away commercials, Stress Away is like that in a bottle. So the story that I have about Stress Away is that after I got my kit, my daughter started using Stress Away. And at the time, she was dancing in the professional ballet company here in San Diego. So they would perform a lot. And she took a roller bottle to like the performances. And before she'd go out on stage, she'd put some on her wrist, take a couple breaths, and then she'd go out for her performance. Well, the first night she did it, her friends just saw her doing this. And then after the performance, they were like, hey, what is that? So they were, kind of asking some questions, and she told them what it was. And what I felt with joy, my daughter felt with stress away. Like it just, as soon as she put it on and smelled it, it was just like, it literally just everything washed away. So she told her friends this. So then the next night of the performance, she pulls it out. As soon as she pulled it out, all her friends were there going, can I have some? So she sat there and, they all got their stress away before they went out and performed. So
can I interject what's in there? What's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So copaiba, which helps for, irritation and inflammation. That oil, in my experience, has helped for that. Like, even using it for your gums. It has lime, cedarwood, vanilla, ocotea, and lavender.
Yes. And it smells divine as well.
Yeah. A lot of people like it.
Yeah. I love the smell of it. And an excellent diffusing thing to do with it is to put 4 drops of Stress Away in the diffuser, along with 3 drops of lime and 2 drops of peppermint. And if you're having a rough day, put that in the diffuser, roll on some Stress Away on yourself, and just, let it take you away.
We have Kelly interjecting, not in the chat, but she's asking gosh, I just had it here. Is it bad to use the same oil over and over again?
Well, my opinion, and from what I know, is that no, it's not bad, but that over time, and I think it varies individual to individual how quickly this occurs, but your body can pretty much become accustomed or adapt to it. So sometimes you want to mix them up, mix up the oils so that if you're using, like for me, I was using Joy, every day, and it was excellent. I was loving it, and I was noticing the benefits. And I didn't switch because I didn't notice the benefits anymore, but I just actually felt called to something else one day. And so I used something else. And again, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's like my intuition saying it's time to switch it up, And so for me, that's how, I see it. At some point, your body just becomes really accustomed to that particular oil. And if you mix it up and go to something else that can have the same benefits, it's gonna, your body's gonna actually take that in, and you might see more benefits again.
I feel the same way, Caroline, like sleep, with Rutavala, I could keep using that every night, and that's the only thing that I use. But when I like mix it up and, try lavender and cedarwood, diffusing it, and then I take my dream catcher and add that on the back of my neck, it just helps to kind of rotate things, and just what you feel, compelled, like, this is it. You just have that feeling like, okay, this is what my body needs. And even with the supplements, the same thing. You could be using a supplement over and over again, and then all of a sudden 2 months down the road, you might go, I think I need to change up this, and maybe use something else that maybe my body needs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a great question, Kelly. Thank you.
Yeah, really good question. I think a lot of other people probably have the same question.
Yeah.
So are you on to Trauma Life? Are you finished with that Stress Away?
Yeah. Am I frozen again?
No, you're good now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Actually, the last thing I will say about Stress Away is that it's excellent in the bathtub. Also, if you've had a rough day, going back to the whole Calgon Take Me Away, put a few drops of Stress Away in a cup of Epsom salt. mix it together and then pour that into the bath, that's better than
Yeah, that's
alcohol.
key. That's
Okay.
key. Don't ever just drop your oils on the top of the water. Always mix it in with like the Epsom salt, something that it can mix into. Yeah. And then we
Uh,
also have the stress away bombs.
uh,
The stress away,
yes.
they're already ready made, the bath bombs.
Yeah. Um, hold on. Sorry. Just responding to Erica in the chat there. She just did the bath. Was it with stress away, Erica? That's fantastic. Yay.
Yep.
Yeah, I love stress away in the bath. I will say I have not been very successful with the bath bombs. I've had both the stress away and the lavender ones, but unfortunately, my daughter always knows that when they're in the house, she just has some ESP for them or something, and she ends up using all of them before I get the chance. So I have yet to use the bath bomb, but she loves them. So I just stick with my Epsom salt and, adding in my oils.
You might have to put a few of those, like tuck them away somewhere, your
I
special
know.
reserve.
Take them out of the package. I mean, it's
Yes.
like, I don't know, she's got some radar or something. If that package is in the house, she knows it. So
Yes.
anyway. Okay, so moving on to trauma life. Now, I am just going to read my notes on this one. I will, be upfront and let you know I don't have any personal experience with this particular oil. I have talked to people who have used it, and it is very, what's the word? It's a significant oil if you require this kind of like healing and processing. Again, the type or the name of the oil of the blend, it does exactly what it says. It is for anybody who has had like a traumatic event. So, and it's also something that may not be for everyone. If you haven't had a super traumatic event, I mean, most of us have at some point, but maybe it wasn't something that like affected you to your core that you have carried on your entire life. But if you do have something that is like a repressed trauma, untreated or unprocessed trauma, this particular blend can be a huge emotional support as you process it and work through it. So it is that kind of healing, that deep healing is definitely a process. And if you do have something like that, please, seek help, professional help if you need it. But just know that you can use this particular oil to help you in that whole healing process. It can help you feel more balanced and help you get better sleep. A lot of times when you're doing a lot of emotional work, your sleep can be interrupted. You can, have nightmares, that type of thing. So this helps you with that. You can diffuse it. You can apply it to like your temples, the crown of your head, behind your ears. So, all around the head and also on the wrists. And it can be a huge help. One story that I read was about a family, and they had like a 1.5 year old. She was really young and she really wasn't talking yet, just kind of, doing the like baby babble. And she actually fell down the stairs. And she didn't have any physical injuries, but of course she was really scared. She was crying for a while. And her parents noticed that her little constant talking, the babbling, actually stopped after that fall. And so they put Trauma Life in the diffuser, after a couple days, and they noticed that she wasn't like doing her talking thing. They put Trauma Life in the diffuser, and just one day of diffusing it, the next day she was back to her, talking and babbling and that kind of thing. So that's just like one example. But if you have a traumatic event when you're young and it's something that you've held on to and carried on, or repressed and maybe don't even remember, it can be affecting you. This oil can be, excellent for helping you get through that.
Okay. All right. So onward to Peace and Calming. Peace and Calming and Valor are in our premium starter kit. They're very popular oils. Peace and calming has been used on, gosh, so many different things. I think I shared at one point, calming your pets down, even like during the 4th of July. But we just need to feel calm. It's really good for that, creating a peaceful environment. You can diffuse it. You can apply it topically to the bottoms of your feet before you go to bed or before a nap. It also helps with situations where there's tantrums for kids, teens, even the adults. Sometimes we have our little moments. So yeah, it's just for tense situations where you're feeling those high emotions, high charged emotions, and so you just want to. It's perfect in the diffuser, and it just calms an entire family down. In my experience. So as Caroline mentioned in our last sleep Zoom event, she says keep this one by your bedstand, by your bedside, because when you wake up in the middle of the night, put this one on. It helps you go back to sleep, is what she has found. So next up is frankincense.
Yes, frankincense. Oh, how I love frankincense.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, my friends know that, I just call him Frank, and I say Frank is my friend. He's one of my best friends. Frankincense is a very high frequency oil, and it has so many uses and benefits. I use it every day in numerous ways. I will use it in my face serum. So morning and night, I use it there. I will use it anytime that I, want to feel grounded, or like when I'm meditating. It's often my go-to when I'm doing a meditation, because of its high frequency. It brings you closer to your spirituality, and whatever that is for you, whether it's God, spirit, universe, mother nature. It just helps you with that connection to whatever higher power you might believe in. And it's also very calming. I like to diffuse it at night. I think I talked about this last week in our sleep one, where I'll diffuse it at night with cedarwood and lavender. And the smell is amazing. And for me, it's just like, as soon as I smell that, I can feel my body like, okay, time to go to sleep. It clicks, and I'm ready to go. So
And
yeah.
then there's sacred frankincense, and that is a little bit more kick to it, spicier, and I love that one over just regular frankincense. I just love it.
And that's interesting, because I'm the other way around.
Oh,
I love frankincense more than sacred frankincense.
interesting.
The smells are not that different. Yes, the sacred has a little bit more, like you said, of a kick. It's maybe like a little bit heavier, spicier, that kind of thing. But it's not a huge difference. But I definitely, for whatever reason, I think I feel the benefit of regular frankincense more than I do of sacred frankincense.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So it's just another example of every person is different. Our body chemistries are so different. And, so it's important to find what works for you. Don't be discouraged if, like, I'm telling you, joy is the best thing ever for your, it'll make you feel happy, and you put it on and you're just like a grump,
Yeah.
I actually have a friend. Is that you, Pam? Yeah. Okay. So now I know two people. I have another friend. I was raving about joy. She goes and buys it, and she used it a couple times, and then she finally realized, and she, she's like very visual with her words in a sense. And she was like, okay, I just figured out joy does the opposite for me. I put it on and I just like want to gnaw off my arms.
Wow.
Okay. Like, I'm sorry. So, everybody is different. And
Right.
so,
Well, it's kind of like Benadryl for, I've heard a friend of mine, she gave Benadryl on an airplane to her kids. And she found out that it made them spastic and jumping, I mean, the people on the plane were like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get off this plane. But she thought she's doing a good thing. She's giving them Benadryl. She found out 5% of kids have the opposite reaction. So kind of like what you just talked about, we
yeah,
have some people that it's the opposite reaction than what it's mostly going to do for the 95% of the people.
right. What a horrible time to figure that out, though.
Oh yeah, on an airplane. And I've been on an airplane where kids are crying, and my kids are grown. I think you kind of have this, like, you don't have tolerance anymore when you have already raised your kids, and you're just like, oh, when you hear kids crying and screaming, you're just like, get me off of this plane.
Yep. Well, that's when you need your peace and calming, your stress away, your friend. You need all of the oils.
Yeah, or you find out, in you find out which one works for you.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
so that's what this is all about. It's just finding what is going to work for you. Some people can try an essential oil one time and it's their first experience and it didn't maybe do something or what they were looking for. Well, if they just stuck with it and maybe gone to another oil, they would have found out. So
Yeah. Okay. I'm done with that.
okay.
And just so you know, we're at 8 o'clock right now.
I
So
know.
I don't know if you just want to finish the oil, do the last oil and stop there, or if you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to stop sharing stories. We're just so we're just so, with our stories, we got one for every oil.
I know, but that's my favorite part.
I know, really.
So my
Um,
apologies.
well, let's see. We've got gosh, we have like, oh boy.
We can always include these in, like, do a supplement class and
Yeah,
add.
we could skip we could do a supplement class. Yeah. Hmm. Thyromin is really important, though, I thought. If for anyone who has any thyroid issue, and I don't know, I think it's coming up more and more for people. I've actually had a low thyroid since I was in my 20s. And normally women have an issue with their thyroid starting in their 40s. So it's the only thing that I take right now. I have to take something for it, but I wanted to share this because I incorporated Thyromin, the supplement. It's a blend, and I have to keep being tested every 3 to 6 months because I went from my dose, and my only medication that I take is 150 milligrams to down to 112.5 milligrams. So it's been going down consecutively as I've been using the Thyromin, and I'm going to have to get tested again. So I'm really happy. There is a roller ball that you can use too. There's a nice blend that if anyone wants it, I have a roller ball blend. So I don't know, Calm CBD Calm roll on. It was the one that I was going to talk about. And that one has been amazing for me, especially for its blend of essential oils and CBD. And I really never got into CBD until Young Living started kind of having this beautiful marriage of the CBD and the essential oils together. They partnered with a company called Nature's Ultra, and I'm really digging the CBD with the essential oils. Some people say that the essential oils themselves are enough. Other people just like CBD, but this marriage to me has been really nice with the muscle rub tin and then the CBD roll on. I specifically use that one. It smells like lavender. It's very calming, and it like in the morning to start my day, I'll just roll it in the back of my neck and my shoulders, and it's just very calming. And then I also sometimes use it at night to just help relax my neck and also help me relax and go to bed. So that's what I'm using, that CBD calm roll on. And it comes in 2 different strengths, 300 and 600. And I recently have tried the 600, and I feel like it is a little bit more, stronger than the other one. So I don't know, Caroline, what else? Do you want to just have me go into the Great Day Protocol and skip the we were just going to go over like Ninja Red and Life 9 and Mastery Formula and Omega Jais, that just, it's supporting your body. The supplements support your body. And when you feed, if you are getting all the nutrients in a perfect world, of course you don't need your supplements, but we're all kind of lacking in one way or another. And I, especially like in our sleep event, the Mega Cal, I think I was actually lacking in the calcium, but then also the magnesium, but the magnesium helps me sleep. So for me, that's been an amazing change in my nighttime routine. So again, if you're getting the nutrients and the supplements, you are going to have better functioning throughout your day, to cope with stress and help your immune system. So that's all I guess we have to say about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Catherine, before you go into Gary's Great Day Protocol, I just want to address Janine in the chat. You mentioned that it's a very strong oil. Which one were you referring to?
Trauma.
Life.
Oh, okay. I just saw that right now, so I wasn't sure which oil.
It's it's really strong. I don't have it's really the only oil I can think of that's had any effect on me as far as any of the ones that you're talking about. I haven't had any of them work at all, but that one just gave me nightmares. I mean, it took me back to my trauma and took me right back there to the point where, I mean, it was just in my face nightmares. And it was just after putting it on the bottom of my feet. So I would just warn anybody to use it with caution, because it is strong.
Yeah, that's interesting. Everybody is so different. And this is just, maybe it is part of, maybe also a try and release,
I think that's what it was doing, but it was just, my trauma was a head-on car collision. And it just, at the time, after that happened, I did have nightmares, and then it took a number of years to go away. And this, it just was just back smack in my face. When I told you about that, Catherine, when I started using it, I mean, it was so strong I had to stop using it.
Yeah.
So that's all I was just saying. I mean, it's the only oil that has ever had an impact on me, and so that's why I feel that it's pretty strong. And I would just advise anybody to use it with caution at first.
Disclaimer: use with caution.
Yeah. Which is what I had heard about it. I hadn't heard a specific story like that, but that's kind of what I'd heard. And that's why, I did recommend, if you have a significant trauma that, requires, or that you think, you need some professional help with, definitely seek that out. And that this could support, help you work through it. You might get through it a little bit faster, a little bit easier. If you were working with a professional, it may have not created such a significant.
I did. This accident was 20 years ago. And I went through a number of years because I had a traumatic brain injury with it. And so I had to have counseling. And I mean, that's what I mean. It is in your face.
Yeah.
Also, I want to ask, is anyone here, does anyone here object to having me post these Zoom events on YouTube or on my personal Facebook? I mean, we've had me and Caroline's face and Pam and maybe Janine. That's about it. And I don't think I've ever seen, I think it doesn't post like the phone number on it. I haven't seen that. It's almost like it's taken it off that I've seen. I just see like the little phone thing. But anyways, just wanted to ask if anyone had any issue with that. So yeah, going into the Gary's Great Day Protocol, I love this. It has 4 oils that you use. It's great. Carol and I were talking about, we use it like in the morning to, before a meditation, or just to get going before we get up and go out, into the world. It's wonderful. I've seen it work. And so you start out with Valor, which we talked about earlier. You just place 1 drop on your wrist and just, mix it in. It's actually a blue color oil because it has the blue tansy in there. So, you just breathe it in, just kind of keep it like that for a few seconds, and it gets into your system. Then you start going into Harmony, where you would place a drop right above your belly button, which is your solar plexus. And it's, we already have heard what Harmony does, creating, promoting some positive feelings. Then you go into Joy, another oil we talked about, blend, and you place that drop again on your heart. We talked about Joy. A great place is right over your heart, to inspire feelings of the happiness and joy. And then you go into White Angelica, and then you place a drop in the palm of your hand. I would say your non-dominant hand. Rub it together. You want to just breathe it in, and then you can kind of put it over your head, and then kind of over your face and your shoulders and your chest, just kind of like over your aura. And that's pretty much it. Then you're just going to, like, with all the oils on your hands now, you're going to cup it over your nose, breathe it in for about 10 seconds. And you can do this again at night, if you feel like it, but it's great to start your day off. It starts a great day. A wonderful, wonderful little four blends that will, and White Angelica, we didn't talk about White Angelica, but that is, we call it like our angel wings, for protection and for negativity. You go into a mall and you have a lot of overwhelm, some of these malls, not every mall right now. The malls are kind of quiet now, but maybe, not right now, but back then when we had, like, huge baseball stadium and lots of people. So let me see. I think I'm going to just wrap it up, since we're kind of over here and we value your time. But we're here for you to get the emotional support that you need with the oils and the supplements that we're recommending, to find balance that's right for you. The key here is definitely that it's got to be right for you. You got to experiment on your own to try things out, to see what works for you. Some of the blends, as we know and heard from others, work better than others. Some supplements are really, they make a big difference in achieving the balance and your overall health. So just try them out. That's all you got to do, is just try them out. So again, we'll be having this next week at 7:00 Wednesday. We're going to create a link that you can start using every week on Wednesday. And next week we'll be releasing emotional patterns with essential oils. So it'll be our emotional release event. So it'll kind of expand on to what we learned today. And we're actually going to go over a 7-step technique in clearing those emotional patterns using Dr. Caroline L. Mine, her book. And the book is specifically called Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils. So that is Dr. Carolyn L. Mine. And she's right here in Rancho Santa Fe. She's been in business like 50 years, but she's also a chiropractor, acupuncturist, and she's written this amazing book. And we're going to go through the technique next week, and a little meditation as well. So that's what we have to look forward to. Anyone have any questions? And unmute yourself if you do. Or type it in the chat.
I was going to say another way that you can use frankincense is you can take a drop of it under your tongue.
Yes, yes. Or push it up against the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
And just hold it there for about 10 seconds. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. Some people have used it and pushed it up to the roof of their mouth and they've experienced their headaches subside or just felt a lot more grounded. How about you, Janine? What have you used it for?
Well, I tried it. I mean, that's what I did that challenge for that month where I put a drop under my tongue. And before that, I was trying it on the roof of my mouth, but I don't, I haven't been real, I think possibly because I had that morphine pump, I got stronger drugs in my body that the oils don't do a lot for me. I haven't been very successful with any of them, although I have most of them.
Yeah.
Cortisone works.
I would think maybe you're not, noticing the actual benefit, but I'm sure the cells in your body are taking the oils in. You just, like you said, because you have some hardcore drugs going in you as well. It's definitely going to kind of block what you might feel. So,
Well,
Catherine, you mentioned the headache. I will say I did that. I'm long time chronic headache sufferer, and I love using the oils to support me when I'm dealing with that. And I did the roof of the mouth thing and didn't really notice a difference. But then I had also heard that doing a combination of frankincense, lavender, and peppermint and layering those are like, I basically would do it on my temples, across my forehead, behind my ears, and at the base of my skull. And I would start with frankincense first, then I would layer on top of that lavender, and then lastly the peppermint. And peppermint helps, when you layer peppermint on top of something, it helps push that oil into your body, so it helps it get absorbed. But then also peppermint is great for just that, the pain type of feeling. But anyway, that's what I use whenever I need support with a headache, is the frankincense, lavender, and peppermint layered on all those parts. And then I stick M-grain in the diffuser.
Yeah, M-grain has been
Fantastic.
wonderful. Yeah, it's been very helpful because when you have that time of emotional, hormonal time of the month, it's really helped me. What else? What also going to mention about what Janine said is a tip for everybody using their oils is how do you intend this oil to work on your body? To have that just more positive state, in like it's almost like if you have a higher source that you're asking, like to ask, I want this to help this particular part of my body, or what do you intend with that one oil, and try to have that in mind when you apply it. And I don't know, I
well, it
believe
helps with an affirmation of some type. I mean, that's what I was trying.
Yeah. The affirmation, in using this oil with an affirmation and placing it on your body, that this is going to help heal, and just whatever you intend it to do, and maybe give that. Our thoughts are so powerful, and there's another class on frequency and vibration and the power of that. So that's all I'd say about that, I guess, right now. So, all right. Well, if there isn't any other questions, then we will just leave it at that's a wrap.
I missed the very beginning of the class, but you guys were talking about supplements for a minute. I will say that the Ninja Red as an overall product, overall general health, because Catherine, how it helped my eyesight, but I think that product's probably really beneficial as far as grounding everybody, and I mean,
Oh.
as an overall just general product for your overall health in general. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
such
we
a strong
actually,
antioxidant.
yeah, we actually had that as an overall, nutrition supplement, for the whole entire body. It helps with so many things, with energy and the eyesight. People's eyesight just like you said, Janine, it's helped with your eyesight improve when you've gone to the doctor and all of a sudden a year later you're like, oh, your eyes aren't getting worse, or maybe they're improving. So I've used it for energy. Like the antioxidants are amazing. It's got like 18 amino acids in there. It's just a whole food supplement. Yeah, it's been an amazing supplement. So anyways, thank you, Janine. Yeah, that's an important one. So we'll have to have a whole class on Ningser Red and sulfurzyme. So. All right. Well, until next week, Wednesday at 7 again on emotional release.